Okay, let's start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majja pamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanathana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. idang me silang magapala nyanasa pachayo hotu appamadena sampadeta sa. Okay, let's start off with a guided metta. Now you sit here, relax. Relax the mind. Keep the mind calm, peaceful. Being here at the present moment. Let go of all the thoughts, planning, thinking. Keep the body relaxed. Relax from top of the head, forehead and face, neck and shoulders, arms. Relax the chest area. Relax the stomach area. Relax the spine, the back. Relax the buttocks, hips, thighs. Relax the knees and calves, ankles, soles. So relax the body. Keep the mind alert, calm, and peaceful. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be able to live in peace with myself and in peace with others. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. Now let us expand the metta, reaching out to all the beings around here. May they be monks and nuns, fellow yogis, Dharma workers, Dharma helpers, volunteers, donors and sponsors. To all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas around in this neighborhood, to all the petas, to all their animals, big or small, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger. free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May all of us be peaceful. Be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings around here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us expand our metta. Let us expand our metta, reaching out to all beings in this country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas or petas, animals big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well and healthy, and may they all truly be happy. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, may they all be well and healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us expand our metta, reaching out to all the beings in this world. May they be our loved ones near or far away, or to those whom we do not know wherever they are, or to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all the guardian devas of the Buddha Sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen, far or near. May all beings in this world be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, able to live in peace and not in war. Live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings be well. May they all be healthy. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings in this world be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, be well, be healthy, and may they all truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us radiate our metta, reaching out to all beings without exception. All beings in this universe or universes, all beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest planes, and all beings in all the world systems. All beings without exception, be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all able to live in peace with themselves and in peace with others. May they all be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful. May they all be well. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. And may all beings truly be happy. And slowly we let go of the metta. Let go of the metta. We bring the attention back to the body to feel the sensation being here and now. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. On Tuesday, we were talking about restraint by effort. Yeah. Restraint by effort. As I said, restraint by effort. You have to use a lot of mental effort. In a certain way, in a certain time, you have to expand it over to the physical effort also. Sometimes, as I said, certain things you need to walk away. Then you have to restrain yourself from going into even more anger or desire. Restrained by more effort also, at times, there are temptations or there are strong anger that we have to hold it back in order not for it to come out in actions or in speech. If we don't hold it back, then it creates a lot of unwholesome karma. The day I gave about what? Road rage, correct? That type of anger that suddenly it bursts out. Then we have to control those things. Or sometimes like sorrow, despair, and suddenly it comes. Then we have to watch out for those type of things. Sometimes like temptations, desire about wealth, that strong desire, the obsessiveness, that sometimes we get blinded by that desire. Then, for example, we over-invest or put everything into that thing. Then sometimes the whole thing disappear, collapse, and so on. We talk about addiction also. Addiction, like nowadays, is the games industry and so on. But of course, this type of addiction also involves like what? Alcohol, cigarettes, and so on. Addiction. Talk about addiction since there are certain aspect of research in the science about food, diet, and so on. They say that this sugar that we take is also a kind of addiction. The sugar that we take is kind of addiction. Just simple example, if your coffee without sugar, you get very angry when some people. Not enough sugar, they get angry. No, that level of the taste, it has to be there. It has to have that. And the more that you want it, the more you will like it more sweeter. But we don't, perhaps these are all, again, this is a debate now, But this type of research, they see into the certain chemicals of the body when it's elevated. Like, for example, when you have addiction of a drug, and then what is the chemical of the body is as elevated when it rises. So too, when you addiction for that sugar also, that same chemical also arise. Anyway, this is something for us to think about. A lot of all this type of food tasting and so on, the desire can be very strong. The wanting can be very strong. Take for example, like seafood. Perhaps many of us have been taking care of 5 precept. Then this type of seafood, we try to avoid the live type of seafood. But sometimes you go to this type of restaurant, they display all kinds of fish and all kinds of lobster, all live in the aquarium. For you to pick and choose. So we have to hold back this type of desire. Another type of strong desire also is the temptation of another's person, another opposite sex. That also is another another huge problem. This type of temptation, although sometimes you talk about, you take care of the 5 precept, although you have a partner in life, and sometimes that desire to flirt, and then you try to go near to the opposite sex and so on, then there is a kind of a certain temptation. And sometimes this temptation is because you get the attention. You get the attention from the outside people. And that attention comes again and again, reinforce itself again and again. Then the whole desire, and you begin to get infatuated with another person, although you have a partner in life, husband or fiance and boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Yeah. Uh, so this type of temptation, when you're out there, these are very strong temptation, very powerful temptation. Mm. Uh, Even monks or nuns also, this type of temptation where monks get disrobed is usually because the other opposite sex. Uh, It's not because of you want to go back and work and so on. And that one, not to say there's none. There's also here and there. But I'm talking about lifelong monk. Yeah, they pledge to have a lifelong in the practice, but somewhere in between, there are strong temptation coming in. And there are cases like that over the century. Over the centuries, they have these type of things. Even no matter how strong your Vinaya is, that you really fall, I mean, you don't want to get close to the opposite sex and so on. But then the other party, sometimes they can be very persistent. Choi kalu kau. Go into the cave also to look for you. They are very persistent because their desire is very strong. They keep on going again and again. And sometimes, sometimes these people, it's the chasing, desiring is what they want. But once they get it, no more that the anticipation and so on. They kind of like no more desire. For example, I met with monks that certain women is keep on chasing after him. He avoided it, but he keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Then after that, the monk disrobed, married the woman. Then after married the woman don't want him. Look for another one. Because that desire of chasing. Yeah. There are people like that. And these women are supposed to be like very rich, They can do whatever they want. Whether they have a man or they don't have a man, they can still. But it's the desire going there. So on the monk side, then of course the temptation, you have to keep on avoiding. You have to keep going away. You see the signs of coming in of this type of things are happening. You better start running away. Pack your bag or leave your bag also. Go, go far away. Yeah, there are people like that. There are people like that. Not just only in the world of out there where you meet with people when you're at work at when at work at a certain uh, uh, society, sometimes certain groups of people that you may have, then this kind of temptation, because you meet with them repeatedly, you got to be careful of your desire. You got to restrain, you got to pull back with effort. You got to, you have to bite your teeth and just walk away in that sense. A very strong effort, this thing. So a lot of times our precept may not be that. I mean, we observe the precept, yes, but worldly temptation can be very powerful. Yeah. Another type of temptation is not just only the opposite sex, but power. You have control. Yeah. You have a certain control. When you have certain control, that you feel the control, because sometimes if you are like a leader, you have a certain control, you have a certain say, and a certain attention also into you. You crave for it, you desire it, you want it, and you want to hold on to that particular thing. Uh, uh, for example, politician. Not all, but many. Yeah, many. When you taste the desire of the attention is given to you, people that is do things for you, prepare things for you, you are like a center of attention. You crave for that power, you crave for that desire. Yeah? Because when it comes with power, for example, if you are very rich, yeah, if you are very rich, sometimes you control certain things. You come with power, you come with people get attracted to you. Yeah. Whether good people or bad people get attracted to you, then because the power, also money will come. Money will start rolling in also. And then after that, when you see the money, you see the power, then the mind gets corrupted for all these type of things. So you got to be careful out there. Yeah. These type of things are very strong worldly temptation, and it pulls you into a lot of unwholesome actions, unwholesome speech. Yeah. Sometimes also as a monk, you know that you go around like monks or nuns, you go around places, people really don't like you, really hate you. Even they don't know you, just because you wear robes. Yeah. For whatever pantang larang they have, whatever they see you as something soy, bad luck, see you as something like it's terrible, it's a bad omen to see these type of people. And sometimes they will shout at you. Sometimes they will try to harm you, try to they may not touch you, but their words can be very, very sharp. So at that time, you have to be patient. You have to hold back. You want to hit back, you want to, that type of thing, but hold back, hold back, hold back. You try to you have to restrain it back with a lot of, not just patience, but truly you bite your teeth and hold it back. Yeah. So be a monk bo eng, be a nun also not easy. Yeah. There are people are not so easy, even in the Buddhist community. You're going to find with difficult people. Yeah. Those who want to become monk or nun, this is something that we have to bear up, because but it's better. It's still better than out there. Out there, you meet with worse people. Here in the Buddhist community, not so much, but once in a while, once in a while, their motives and all that thing, quite this one. It can be quite horrible, terrible, if they do not have precepts. But sometimes they have precept also. But as I said, they don't cross the red line, but they can still do other unwholesome deeds, without breaking the precept. Yeah. Yeah. But it's also still unwholesome also. Sometimes like slandering, although it's unwholesome, but they think that it's still not breaking any precept. Precept is lying only, slandering is okay. You talk bad about other person, you put fire here, put fire there. In this society, even in the Buddhist society, they have these type of things. So we have to be careful when we are out there. As a monk or as a lay person, a lot of times it's going to tempt you to open up your mouth, to come up with a lot of strong words, or come up in a physical action, and do a lot of unwholesome things, or even the planning or scheming and so on with all kinds of bad intentions, ill will, and so on. Mm. So we got to. So this type of restraint is restrained by effort. We hold it back very strongly. Now we have covered on the restraint. So let me see. Today we talk about the 4 types of morality. Morality can be classified into all these 4 areas in the whole, chapter of the whole Tipitaka and all that. The first one, as I said, to remind ourselves, the first one is morality due to, no, not due to, morality or virtue as intention, Sīla as intention, Cetana. Whether this is wholesome or unwholesome intention. You wholesome, you act on it. Unwholesome, you prevent it. Then you have mental factors. Morality as mental factors. Now, these mental factors, of course, is the wholesome mental factors. Your action or your speech is motivated, for example, by compassion. For example, by non-greed, for generosity. Your action is determined by the metta, for example. Your words, or this one is all because of these wholesome mental states. So then it comes out. So here, whether intention or mental factors, there's nothing to do with your 8 precept yet, or what you've taken your 8 precept yet, because that will come as number 4 later on. Then the third one, transgression. Restraint, sorry. The third one is morality as restraint. So restraint here is that you prevent ourselves from doing the unwholesome things. So there are 5 types of restraint here. One is the restraint by patimokkha. That means is by the bhikkhu or bhikkhunis precept. Second is restraint by mindfulness. That means you don't get, you got your senses, you got your eyes, you don't look into the particular, small particular of those things, because the moment your eyes touch on it, then arise the whole desire or dislike will come up. It comes up on all the senses. So mindfulness should be, we hold back due to mindfulness. Then we have restraint as wisdom or knowledge. Understanding of the right knowledge, for example, understanding of karma. Because if you do something unwholesome, before you're aware of its consequences. You are aware of its consequences. Then restrained by patience. Patience here is you're able to bear up with a lot of unpleasant objects or people or environment, hot, cold, other people, noises, and so on. You be patient. You put the effort there, be patient, keep your mind calm, keep your mind peaceful in that sense. Restrained by effort. This one is a very strong mental effort that you have to exert. Then you abandon a lot of this very strong desire, hatred, or ill will, these type of things, so that it doesn't come up in our action of body and speech. This is the third type of restraint. Now the fourth type of morality. The fourth type of morality is non-transgression. Non-transgression. Here the word non-transgression means that you make a vow or vows that you have. You make a certain oath, a promise perhaps. For example, when you take your 8 precepts or your 5 precepts, this will fall under the non-transgression. That means that time you're not, there's no killing, there's no killing, there's no lying, there's no sexual misconduct, and so on. There's none there. So you remind yourself. But when we remind ourselves, it's always important that the words, the thing that we uphold, we have to be, we sincerely know, we have to be sincere about it. We have to be honest about it. We have to really try to uphold it as best as we can. Yeah. Now, some people I've met are devotees sometimes, like, yeah, they go to the temple, they take the 5 precepts. Then after that, they go for a later part, they go for dinner, then they have a drink, whatever already. Yeah. All kinds of drink and all kinds of this one and so on. Yeah. And so they're not sincere. Taking a precept for them is just whatever the monk says, then they just follow it. Yeah. But here, taking these precepts, or any form of like vows and everything, you have to uphold it to your best of your ability. To the best of your ability. You are not going to be perfect. You have to remind yourself that you are not perfect, but you try to uphold it to the best of our ability. Yeah? Now, if you take the like, you promise somebody to do something, then if you have the capability to do it, fulfill it, then we do it. Nowadays, people are not so straightforward anymore. Everything you promise, make sure you have a black and white one. Nowadays, word of mouth only, shake a hand, not counted one. Nowadays, the honor, the words itself is not there anymore. Yeah. Well, because maybe sometimes we have a lot of things we cannot even remember what we promised also. Yeah. Sometimes, I'm going to go there at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'll go. But sometimes some people, they just take their own sweet time. They let other people wait and so on. Then they just don't care, don't bother. Yeah. Like you go to an Indian wedding, in India, you go to an Indian wedding, this is what they do. When we go to pilgrimage, that's what I learned. One of the things. You see, when you go to Indian wedding, this Indian wedding is a huge wedding, and there's a very big, making merry and making happy, all these type of things, drink and everything. So let's say your wedding starts at 8 p.m. Nobody comes at 8 p.m. People will come later. Because the later you come, the more people will look at you. Yeah. The attention. So their wedding can last until like, of midnight and whole until the dawn. Whole night they can do this one. They don't specify, they specify a certain time. Nobody come at that time. Nobody come at that time. They thought they will come in later and later, the later the better. Because more big shot, yeah. Oh, so the whole thing, the whole thing is, a big thing. Now, there are some people also, in the, sometimes you met with people like, you tell them to come on certain time. Once or twice, sometimes they're late. Perhaps you understand, maybe because of traffic jam or whatever that's coming up. But there are people who are perpetually late. Yeah, they are perpetually late. Yeah. I've met with devotees like that. You cannot go with anywhere with that particular devotee. You promise, sure late. Come dana 11:30, sure come at 11:45 or 12 o'clock. Chaka beliao liao. Bante there, offer. Makan when they finish already, everything, then come. Perpetually, not one time. You go anywhere with the person, you cannot, you better don't promise the person. Uh, Sometimes you tell them, they just won't go in. One or twice they go in, after that they forget again. All kinds of excuses they will give. There are people like that. So the word of mouth, I tell you, is not strong. Nowadays, people are not strong in the words of mouth. If we forget. Yeah. Uh, a lot of things are that when you do something, when you say something, when you promise something, make sure you can able to fulfill it. Tak boleh, you say tak boleh, You cannot, you say cannot. Because sometimes you're going to be pushed to a corner for you to make a promise. Maybe the time the person is going to die already. You promise me to do this, then other sides then die. Then you say, yes, I will do. You just want to calm the person. Then after that, now you said you want to do. Yes, you don't worry. We will take care of everything, and you don't. This one you die peacefully. Don't get too concerned. We will promise you whatever that you do. Then, but after that, the person die. Then you don't do, and you forget Then maybe the person come back, Chari, look at you. Then they come back in the dream. Oh, you terrible son, you terrible daughter. You promised me you don't do it. Now I can't kacau you. No, that one is maybe I. But the thing is that sometimes some people at the dying bed now, they want to live. They want to, sometimes it's hard for them to live. Then I know you want to pacify them in order to keep their mind there. So we promise anything that they want. You want big funeral, we also do for you. You want this and that, we'll do for you and everything. So we try to pacify the person. But the thing is, sometimes a number of things that you cannot able to fulfill. So the thing is that here, make sure that whatever that we can promise, whether death or not, or dying or this, if we cannot, then we try to ease the person and so on. We try to say we will try our best as possible to fulfill the promise of a dying person. If you can, not easy, this type of things. So it's always better that before we die, make sure we have some will here and there, to this one. How does all the insect come in? Mana datang all this? Never mind. It's okay. So this type of oath, this type of things that you have to be careful. You have to be a person with honor, not just say and we don't put any things in our words anymore. If you cannot speak it out, better keep silent. But sometimes silent also people say that it's consent, so be careful also, So that also, if they think that it's consent also, you better say cannot means cannot. Tell them cannot. So again here, we have to be careful with our words. Now, in this type of precept, like for example, that we take the type of precept. Now there are, in a way, that there are what we call permanent precept and temporary precept. Permanent precept and temporary precept. What do you think your 5 precept, permanent or temporary? temporary, then can kill already, no? Can lie and can cheat. So if that one you uphold it, then that one is a permanent precept. The 5 precept is a permanent precept, right? But how about 8 precept that we are taking? Now the 8 precept, it is temporary precept because few more days already, you already go back to this one already. So it's temporary. But as a nun, for example, then as long as you remain a nun, and then it's it's a lifelong. If you remain it for a whole life, then it's a lifelong. So again, for example, as me as a monk, then we uphold the Vinaya as best as we can. Then it becomes a lifelong precept. That means it's a permanent precept. Yeah? Mm. But then you see, let's say as a monk, I die. Then I reborn again as a human. That's it. Then after that, I can recall back that I was a monkhood. That's it. That time also, I start from everything new again, as a Vasa and all that thing, we start off with the Vinaya again. So I ask you this question. This is for me, for as a monk. Let's say you, let's say you, and you are multi-billionaire, okay? And you're so rich. Let's say you die, and then you reborn in another family. Then after some time, 4 or 5 years later, you're able to remember that I was the chief, I was the owner of all the wealth there. Will the wealth still be yours or not? Will the wealth still be yours? No, it's not that. But the desire is there, But while you are there, you believe that you are part of the whole thing there, whole connection there. But it's not yours anymore. So here, when they say permanent means one lifetime, it's a one lifetime thing. Now there are people who become monks or nuns, a temporary monk or nun. Say they come in to do a 2 weeks novitiate program or become monks for 2 weeks. They uphold the Vinaya rules for 2 weeks. But their intention is to disrobe after 2 weeks. This type of things, this type of like taking up the ropes and taking up, of course, you will take up the precept also. You can see that when it comes into, especially during the April, where the Buddhists in the Thailand and Burma, Myanmar, they have this temporary ordination, especially during their holiday. Is their main holiday. It's like our Chinese New Year, the biggest holiday. For them is their New Year. Their New Year starts around April. So Thai and this and that. So in Burma, because of they have a week or so, 10 days or so of completely like holiday. So these people, they come into a monastery and they ordain, mass ordination. Really mass ordination, like you keep on churning monk after monk after monk after monk, like factory, you keep on producing the monk. And they kind of produce a lot within like a few days. And then sometimes the whole meditation center or even other monastery is full of monks only. You don't know who you are. You're full of monks. And they come in for just like, even today ordain, tomorrow disrobe already. It's perfectly okay. I mean, it's okay. People look at it, why lah? One day only. But there are like that. There are people like that. They are, as I said, they are temporary monks. Sometimes they stay for 5 days, sometimes they stay for 10 days and stay for this one. And many monasteries in Myanmar, they still have that tradition. One of it because of it's a vow also for them to become a monk or a nun at least one time in their life. A rite of passage, of their life. At least one time become monk or nun. This one become nun already, this one become nun already, nun already. That one is a nun already. Some more? Akan datang maybe. Who knows, At least they have become monk or nuns once in their lifetime, At least. But there are people who become monks for like every day, every time, every time. Some people say you can become monk for 7 times only in your lifetime, or whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. But I think that you can go more than that. Anyway, to them is a rite of passage, is a kind of a vow that they have to fulfill. That even like in Thailand also the same thing, that at a certain age you can come in at any age, but you go to a monastery, become a monk, become a nun for a period of time. For a period of time. That period of time, that means they become a temporary monk or nun. So they fulfill their vows as a Buddhist in that sense. And also the second thing is that acquiring good merits. Acquiring wholesome merits, wonderful merits. Because being a monk, being a bhikkhu, and also being a nun also, even let's say you are doing it for one day, let's say 24 hours only. That 24 hours of becoming a monk, you cannot find it as a layperson. So you must always see at the good side of it, the wholesome side of it, because that wholesome side of doing one day is the merits that come up. You cannot get it if you are a layperson. If you look at it, you're one day only, you don't see its karmic effect that is going to ripen in the future. What more if you're a monk or a nun, day after day, day after day, day after day, until you die. So next time people got one day only, don't laugh, This is sadhu. Rather than this one. So you must look at the positive side of it. So this is, and again, the mind set it as temporary. But if you come in, if you are not a monk or a nun, then of course, like when you're taking this 8 precept, then this is a temporary precept, a temporary precept, because you know that you come in for a period of time. That period of time, you take up the 8 precept. Then after that, you leave the place. Then you go back to the 5 precept. Well and good. But you know that 8 precepts can be taken even like for 2 hours, or 3 hours, or 1 hour, because it's as I said, it's a temporary precept. You don't have to be 3 months or 2 weeks, It can be 2 hours only, It can be 1.5 hours. For example, while I'm doing this taking precept here, while doing here the yogis take the precept, but the people online, they just finish already. Finish already, then only they start the guided meditation. So they are not taking the precept because they thought that mana boleh, how to follow them. They are taking a precept, Actually, not necessary. You can always follow, and you can take the precept. You set your mind now. Next time when the monks take a 8 precept, you set your mind that until the Dharma talk finish, I will revert back to 5 precept. It's a temporary whether you chant your 5 precept or you don't chant your 5 precept, but you already make an intention already. That intention, that means you already intend to go back to 5 precept. Then 5 precept already. You don't have to be right. Then the thing is that taking the 8 precept, perhaps then you have more merits than 5 precept, because more precepts. So during the 8 precept, if you take the 8 precept, then you have 2 hours more. I mean, we don't always count, but we can always do that. It's perfectly all right for us to take the 8 precept while we are taking uh, doing a Dhamma talk. But for those at home, they are listening, don't not take 8 precept already. Then after that, you got keropok there, then you makan and then you listen and then you makan while you eat. You think I'm watching movie, then if you do like that, then you cannot Then also if you do like that, whether you 5 precept or not, also it's quite disrespectful. Although we cannot see you. Yeah. So in that sense, if you want to take 8 precept while you are this one, then it's perfectly okay while in the Dhamma talk, during in the Dhamma talk. Yeah. So at the end of the after the chanting, all you need to do is to remind yourself that whatever that occasion or whatever that event has finished, then you will revert back to your 5 precept. Whether you take it or you don't take it, also doesn't matter. Because you know the 5 precept well and good already. You've been doing it for years and years and years. You know your 5 precept well. We keep on chanting the 5 precept. If you do not know the 5 precept, well, but if you know your 5 precept well, you have been doing it, then the time is only an intention. Then everything you already kept the precept in that sense. Yeah. But if some people they feel that they want to chant again, by all means, they go ahead. By all means, go ahead. Yeah. Even next time, like for example, the 8 precept also the same thing. You come to a retreat. Retreat already start halfway. Then sometimes some yogis they are very particular one. Like for example, I take the precept at night. Then they come in the morning. So Bante we haven't taken the 8 precept. So afterward at 6 p.m. I still can makan something, I still can eat something and then I'll come and then only at night 8 o'clock or 8:15 I take the precept. Then only I start 8 precept. So you got calculate until chun, There are people like that. Because I was like that. We're afraid that get hungry, there's a Kentucky, at the town there, last time we had nearby this one. So I'll wait until about 7 o'clock, makan one meal first, then only I go into the monastery and come and meditate. No, in the beginning, because you're afraid of getting hungry. So something like that. So I said, during this precept also, you can take the full precept. But there are sometimes, sometimes yogis, when they take this 8 precept, although they are taking 5 precept, sometimes if you go to a monastery when they have all this, taking 8 precept, and then there are devotees coming in here. A lot of times, what you will hear, the Panatipata and after that is what? Adidan. The first precept, the second precept, they're very loud on. The third precept become very quiet on. Because here is taking the Brahmacharya. Then the one taking Kamesu and then quiet. Then the Musavada then become loud again. Then after that, they come to the 6th precept, then quiet. The 7th precept, quiet. 8th precept, quiet. You can hear a different tone. You try it. If there's a time when they're doing 8 precept, you couldn't listen with that. Interesting, You can always take an 8 precept. You don't have to worry, You take 8 precept, as I said. By the end of that event or whatever that event is, if it's just for 2 hours, 3 hours, you can always revert back to your 5 precept. It's perfectly all right because it's a temporary precept. So you don't have to discount. No, I don't want this. I discount. I don't chant. You don't have to do like that. Anyway, So this is on the precept, and then this is like non-transgression, the things that we uphold on it. Yeah? Not only just precept, as I said, many things that you promise, you uh, 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 you promise, oath, you make an oath, you make a commitment in terms of mouth and all that thing, or even in terms of in terms of business and so on. It may not be black and white all the time, but when you do it, when you say it, you will deliver it, you will do it, you will do it. But sometimes with other people, when they come to you, you better be more careful. They'll promise you high and low, but they will deliver nothing much. Yeah? So that one, perhaps you want black and white, perhaps is wise. No? But not many people in the world like that anymore. Yeah? Yeah. So many of these things are called non-transgression. You make a vow. You make a vow that when you make a vow not to this one. Not only just precept, but again here is also on something like wholesome deeds. Wholesome deeds also. You can make a vow that, for example, every week I will go and do one dana. Every week, let's say I will do some dana. Yeah? You make a vow in that sense. Some people have their own way of doing things. It's fine. It's perfectly all right. So as long as you learn to stick with your vow, then it'll be very good. Some people, for example, like, okay, from now on, when I go back, every day I will meditate. Sīla, how much you can do. You don't promise too much. Here, sometimes the yogi thought, they practice very well, and things go back. They think that, okay, go back, I must strive. And I go back, lembek already. Yeah, not so easy yet. I mean, it's good to have that thing. Uh, but don't overpromise yourself. Don't be too perfectionist, and then you want to do that. There's some people could do that. Here and far and few in between. Not to say unheard of, but they are here and there. But not many people can able to meditate every day. It's always good that we can meditate at least a little bit every day. You don't have to do like 1 hour, but maybe just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just for you to calm down and be present. That will be very good. Also, the next another day we'll talk about it. So this is, as I said, wholesome part. You have to, when you make a vow, also you have to keep doing it also. Yeah, not only just the unwholesome ones, the restraint or the precept that we take, then those things we try to restrain it from breaking it. So when we make a vow again here to do something, then in the future we keep doing it as for that period of time for a lifelong thing. It all depends. Yeah? So this is the 4 types of precepts as morality. When they say what is morality, morality is intention. What is morality? Morality is wholesome mental factors. What is morality? Morality is restraint. What is morality? Morality is non-transgression. Yeah, to give you the different phases of morality. Yeah. Now here, morality thing, their condition for arising is again here is called what? Hiri and Otapa. Hiri and Otapa. Shameful of an action and fearful of its consequences. Fearful of its consequences. Here, the Hiri Otapa here, it's like whether you aware of it or you don't aware of it. This, as the Buddha says, that this is the guardians of the world. If we do not have this Hiri Uttapa, then the world will be in chaos, will be in violence. The Buddha predicted that towards the end of humanity, there will come a time that the a person will able to live like within like 7 years only, a lifespan of 7 years only. A woman can already give birth within like 4 years or 5 years. Or I can't remember. But by that time, that means 7 years lifespan. Towards the end of that part, it is says that there will be a lot of chaos. The Buddha says, whatever that is you can hold on to your hand is become a weapon already. Yeah? And then for those people who avoid all these things, they go into the forest, they go into this, and then this type of phenomena, this type of thing starts to go this one. That time is totally no hiri otapa anymore. No? There's no fearful of the shameful of the actions or fearful of the consequences. Then that time they don't care anymore. All this don't care. They don't care anymore. After that, they don't care. Then that period, that type of period will disappear. Then after that, these people will uphold those morality. They will come out from hiding, and then from there on, they make a pact not to kill, not to steal, not to cheat, not to all this type of thing. Then from there on, the human life will start grow again from 7 years, 8 years now, and then grow again and grow and grow and grow. You know how long human life can grow or not? We know until it's minimum, but what's the maximum? The maximum is supposed to be like 100,000 years. 100,000 years, according to the Buddha. Because you see, the next Buddha that comes, it says that Metteyya Buddha that's going to come. That time, the human life may be like 80,000 years. You want to live under that long? Sometimes like 80,000 years. It's like, what is death? What is death that time? Day after day that you're going to go through, working like 50 years is just like a passing through only, You work for 30, 40 years, you're almost dying already, about our time about to go already. But that time is just like, they are not even their teenage life yet. Yeah. So I read again, that time it's different already. The mind, how your mind thinking is all different already. It's very different from how we think right now. Yeah. It seems So nevertheless, as I said, this Hiri Ottappa is the one that we have to hold on it. So in other words, when you feel that your conscience, you feel that this is something wrong, sometimes it may not be like whether this precept or that precept, but you got to learn to feel your heart that this is something wrong. It's not the right speech for me to talk, or it's not the right actions, and this is not the right thought. Something you feel that it is not right in your heart. That is something to do with hiri. Is kind of a hiri that you can sense but sometimes you're going to refer back, you think about your Dhamma again, you just cannot pinpoint which defilement you're going through. We know that something is wrong. So you know something wrong. That one is kind of like a hiri. And it's good to sometimes listen to the heart, that this is something wrong and don't do it. But a lot of times we don't feel this thing. We just, as I said, the gratification, the desire, that whatever things is more beautiful, and then we already come out already. We don't feel that conscious. We don't hold back on it. And then the Ottappa is, of course, the consequences. Whether you understand about the karma or not, or consequences in the future lives, in the rebirth, and so on. If you don't, some people don't have that idea of karma, but they know that when you do something unwholesome or something bad, then it will give suffering to others. They give suffering to others, and they can see that the suffering in this very life, or if they do that particular thing, due to perhaps due to their past understanding, past perception, and because of that, and that type of, they feel that the consequences is bad, is harmful to others, it make other people really sorrowful and feel cheated or whatever lah, then they hold back on their action because that these consequences will not bring happiness to people. Yeah? Uh, uh, so they hold back on certain actions. Yeah? So this is something that we have to look into it also, because not only every time is karma and its rebirth thing, but also is within this one, within in the next 1 hour, 2 hours, a day or two, a week or two. Yeah? It's something like that. A lot of things that we have to look into it again and again when we out there, especially while we are over here. While we're over here, this is where the mindfulness and meditation, as your mindfulness become more stronger, clearer, and so on, then when you feel that something is unwholesome that comes in, the heart can actually capture it already, and you know that it's there already. You know, kind of like you can feel that it's there. And when we can able to do this again and again, because of familiarity of it, then when we are out there, then the type of habit of the mind, that you can able to feel something, this feel not so right, then you already hold back already on your actions already. So the mindfulness that what we practice before enlightenment thing is already help us to make our life a bit more smoother. For some people, it's much more smoother, much more happier in that sense. So with this type of morality that we uphold, it's going to be very helpful for us in this life, in next life, and also as for our enlightenment. So okay, we stop here for tonight. Right. And so we share merits. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu.